It's a first for the world of legal sale of marijuana for recreational use. Today, these pot shops are opening a little more than a year after Colorado and Washington became the first U.S. states to legalize it. MacCarthy reports.
It's an early start for these people on New Year's Day. After all the fireworks and alcohol on New Year's Eve, they're now waiting in line to buy marijuana. The typical wait is 2 hours before customers can get inside and get served.
Eighth of blueberry indica. This is people being able to celebrate the choices they want to make as adults, and we're ending a failed policy of prohibition.
3D Discreet is one of about a dozen pot dispensaries in the U.S. state of Colorado where anyone over 21 can now purchase the drug. Many more dispensaries are expected to open their doors later in January. Owner Tony Fox is encouraging customers to use the drug responsibly.
Denver has created a small postcard handout, the Know the Law handout, and then we also have an industry-created pamphlet about marijuana in Colorado, the do's and don'ts, what's legal, what's not.
Marijuana retailers are expecting their first year in business to be a very good one, with state officials forecasting that sales will top $394 million in 2014. Many of the people waiting in line here to purchase marijuana have traveled here from other parts of the United States. That means lots of money in state coffers, but it also has raised some concerns, in particular about the safety of people who might get on the roads or the ski slopes after taking the drug. There are also concerns about teenagers and children getting their hands on the edible and drinkable forms of the drug. Law requires the packaging to be child-proof and labeled with a marijuana leaf. Some say that's not enough.
If you think of a little 2 or 3-year-old who can't read yet, a marijuana leaf isn't going to, they're going to associate that with something bad. It's going to look like a fun, pretty green leaf, so they need something else.
Joel Warner covers Colorado's marijuana industry for Slate.com. He says the industry still faces a lot of challenges, including the fact that cannabis remains banned under federal law. Most banks are federally insured. That means most pot shops and so-called grow operations like this one can't open bank accounts.
So all these banks have said, no, I'm not going to touch this. Well, that's why all these people have huge amounts of cash. That's why you see these giant money counters at the Department of Revenue, because people have to bring in all this cash to pay for things.
In some ways, it remains the Wild West out here in Colorado, with lots of questions remaining about what this new retail marijuana market will look like. With polls showing a majority of Americans support the legalization of cannabis, industry pioneers say they're proudly paving the way for what could someday become a nationwide business. MacCarthy, CCTV, Denver.